Teach them the cost of taking you for granted. People don't value what's always available. They only appreciate what they fear losing. Let that sink in, because right now, someone in your life thinks they can treat you however they want, and you'll still be there. They've gotten comfortable with your kindness, your patience, your loyalty, because you trained them to believe they never had to earn it. And that's on you. So let's cut the excuses. No more, but they love me. No more, maybe they'll change. No more, I just have to show them my worth. If they haven't seen it by now, they don't deserve another damn second of your time. Before we go any further, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because today, you're about to wake the hell up. Now, picture this. You're at a restaurant. You're polite, you tip well, you come in every week, yet the staff keeps giving you cold food, terrible service, and an attitude like they're doing you a favor. But you keep showing up, smiling, paying full price. What do you think happens? Do they suddenly start treating you better? Hell no. They assume you'll take whatever crap they give you. That's how people treat you when you keep accepting less than you deserve. And you wonder why they don't respect you, why they don't text back, why they only show up when it's convenient for them. Because they've never had to fear losing you. They know, no matter how little effort they put in, you'll still be there, making excuses for them, waiting for them to realize your worth. Wake up. They realized it a long time ago. They just don't care. And why would they? You made it too damn easy. You handed them your heart, your time, your energy, your loyalty, without requiring them to do anything for it. You turned yourself into their emotional safety net, their backup plan, their comfort zone. And the second someone gets comfortable with your presence, they stop valuing it. So tell me, what happens when you take that comfort away? What happens when you stop being the one who always reaches out? When you stop responding to their half-assed attempts? When you stop being their personal doormat and start acting like the high-value person you actually are? I'll tell you what happens. They feel it. They wake up one morning and realize your energy is gone. Your presence, your warmth, your support. It's not there anymore. And that's when it hits them. Not through your words, not through a dramatic speech, not through some final warning text. Through your absence, through your silence, through your success. Because listen to me, people don't regret losing you when you cry. They regret losing you when they see you glow up without them, when they realize they no longer have access to the version of you they took for granted. When they see you moving forward while they're stuck exactly where you left them. And by then, it's too late. But here's the kicker. This isn't about them. This isn't about making them miss you. This is about you waking up and refusing to let another person play games with your worth. This is about you realizing that the only reason they were able to take you for granted was because you let them. And today, that stops. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to stop explaining yourself. Stop proving yourself. Stop begging for the bare minimum from people who couldn't care less. And most importantly, you're going to make damn sure that they never get a second chance to take you for granted again. Now, if you're done being the nice, understanding, always available person that people walk all over, drop a comment right now. I refuse to be taken for granted. Say it, own it, live it. Because what's coming next, it's going to make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever dares to take your presence lightly again. Number 1, stop trying too hard. The more you chase, the faster they run. The more you give, the less they appreciate. The harder you try, the easier it is for them to ignore you. Let that sink in, because right now, Someone out there thinks you'll always be available, always understanding, always bending over backward to prove your worth. And you've been feeding them that lie. You've been breaking yourself just to be noticed, sacrificing your peace just to be chosen. And what has it gotten you? Now, imagine this. You're at an auction and an item is up for bid. The price keeps going higher and higher because everyone wants it. But suddenly, the auctioneer stops and says, "Wait, we're just going to give this item away for free." What do you think happens? The bidders lose interest. They step back. Because now, that item feels cheap. They don't have to work for it anymore. That's exactly how people treat you when you keep giving without requiring anything in return. The moment you stop making them earn your time, your energy, your love, they stop valuing it. And yet, you're sitting here wondering, why don't they appreciate me? Let's be brutally honest, because you made it too easy. You handed over your loyalty like a free sample at a grocery store. You gave them the consistency of a partner, the patience of a saint, the loyalty of a ride or die, without them ever proving they deserved it. And deep down, you knew it. You felt it. But you ignored that feeling because somewhere along the way, you were taught a lie. The lie that told you love is sacrifice. That if you just try harder, if you just give more, if you just prove yourself enough, they'll wake up one day and finally love you the way you deserve. But tell me this, when has trying harder ever worked? Did they stay because you kept sacrificing? Did they cherish you because you forgave them for the 100th time? Did they suddenly respect you because you lowered your standards to accommodate their bare minimum? No, because here's the truth society never wanted you to know. The harder you try, the less they value you. Not just in relationships, in everything. We don't respect what's handed to us. We respect what we have to work for. Look at people who win the lottery. They blow through millions because they never had to earn it. Look at employees who get promotions handed to them. They take their position for granted because it required no effort. Look at how you, right now, are being treated by someone who never had to work for your love. You think giving more will fix things. You think proving yourself will finally make them realize what they have. Wake up. You're pouring yourself into someone who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You're sitting here exhausted, drained, wondering why they don't see your worth. When the real question is, why are you still trying to make them see it? Because the truth, you were always enough. They just never had to earn you. And that's where you messed up. You gave them the loyalty of a lifetime for the effort of a stranger. You kept picking up the phone, kept checking in, kept fighting for a spot in their life while they barely lifted a damn finger to keep you in theirs. You trained them to believe that no matter what they did, you would stay. And now, they don't appreciate you. Because why would they? They didn't have to work for you. They didn't have to rise to meet your standards. You lowered yourself to accommodate them. And now, you're paying the price. But that changes today. Because today, you stop auditioning for a role they were never going to give you. You stop overgiving, over-explaining, over-sacrificing for someone who never once stopped to ask, am I good enough for them? When was the last time they tried for you? When was the last time they fought to keep you? When was the last time they put in effort without you begging for it? If you can't answer that, you already know what you need to do. But let's talk about that fear of, what if I stop trying and they leave? Let them walk. Let them feel what it's like to exist without your energy, without your support, without the privilege of having you in their life. Because that's exactly what it is, a privilege. And if they couldn't see that when they had you, they sure as hell don't deserve the chance to realize it later. And don't you dare think that walking away makes you weak. Walking away makes you powerful. It makes you the one thing they never expected, unavailable. It makes you a mystery again. And trust me, nothing haunts people more than losing what they thought they could always have. So what do you do now? Now you rise. Now you stop chasing. You stop explaining yourself. You stop justifying why you deserve basic respect. You stop applying for a position in their life that they never even opened. You stop convincing someone to choose you when the right person would never need convincing. Because real love, real respect, real connection, it doesn't require you to break yourself just to be seen. And if someone only realizes your worth when you walk away, that's proof that they were never worthy of you to begin with. So now, my friends, I need you to make a choice. You can keep running on this hamster wheel, exhausting yourself, hoping that one day they'll appreciate you. Or you can step off, walk away, and finally become the version of yourself that no one, and I mean no one, can ever take for granted again. So say it with me. I will no longer prove my worth to anyone who cannot see it. Drop it in the comments. Say it out loud. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure you never, ever let anyone make you feel small again. Stay with me. We're just getting started. Number 2. Silence is the only language they understands. Silence is not empty. It's full of answers. Let that sink in, because right now you're talking too much, explaining too much, begging, pleading, trying to make them understand what they did to you, why you're hurt, why you deserve better. And what has it gotten you? Ignored, dismissed, overlooked. Because here's the truth, people don't hear words, they feel absence. So today, you stop wasting your breath. Now, imagine this, a radio that never stops playing. It's on 24/7, blaring non-stop. At first you might listen, you might even like some of the songs, but after a while the noise just blends into the background. It's always there, so you stop paying attention. But what happens when it suddenly cuts off? When the static disappears and there's nothing but dead silence? Now you notice. Now you feel the difference. Now you wonder what happened. That's how people treat you when you're constantly explaining yourself, constantly trying to fix things, constantly giving them access to your emotions. They stop listening. They take your voice for granted because they know it will always be there. But the moment you stop, the moment you go quiet, now they notice. Because let me tell you something, people don't appreciate consistency. They appreciate scarcity. And when you're always available, always willing to talk, always there to smooth things over, they get comfortable, they get lazy. They assume they can treat you however they want, and you'll still be there, giving them endless chances, forgiving their mistakes, making excuses for their half-assed effort. And you keep playing right into it, because deep down, you're afraid. Afraid that if you stop reaching out, stop explaining, stop responding, they'll forget about you. Afraid that if you go silent, they won't come looking for you. Afraid that if you disappear, they won't care. And that fear, it's keeping you trapped. Because guess what? If silence makes someone forget you, they were never yours to begin with. If your absence doesn't shake them, your presence never meant anything to them. Let that sink in. Because right now, you're sitting here thinking that one more conversation, one more explanation, one more emotional speech is going to change something. But tell me, has it worked so far? Has all your talking, all your begging, all your over-explaining made them love you more, respect you more, value you more? No. Because words don't teach people lessons. Loss does. And you're not about to teach them with your words anymore. You're about to teach them with silence. You want to know why silence is so powerful? Because it forces them to sit with themselves. It forces them to fill in the blanks. It forces them to wonder. They expect you to react. They expect you to break. They expect you to keep running back like you always do. And when you don't, when you remove yourself, when you vanish without warning, without explanation, without one last speech, it messes with them, because now they have no control, no reassurance, no idea what's going on in your mind. And trust me, nothing haunts a person more than the unknown. You ever notice how, the second you stop texting, stop calling, stop responding, suddenly they're checking your stories, liking your posts, throwing out little breadcrumbs to see if you'll bite? That's not love, that's ego. That's them realizing they're no longer the center of your world and panicking because they don't have power over you anymore. But here's the catch. If you break now, if you respond, if you give them the reaction they're looking for, you lose. Because the second they see you're still available, still waiting, still emotionally attached, they relax again. They pull back, because now they know you're still there. You're still theirs. You're still an option. And you just set yourself back to square one. So don't break. Don't answer that, "Hey, how have you been?" text. Don't fall for that "I miss you" message that only comes when they're bored. Don't let your silence turn into waiting. Because silence isn't about waiting for them to notice you. It's about you noticing yourself. You noticing that you were never the problem. You noticing that the real issue was that you kept explaining your worth instead of making them feel it. You noticing that you don't need closure. You don't need validation. You don't need one last conversation. You just need to walk away. Because trust me, if they truly valued you, they would have acted like it while they still had you. Not after you went silent. Not after they lost access to you. And if silence makes them realize your worth, that's their burden to carry, not yours. So what do you do now? Now, you disappear. No warnings, no explanations, no dramatic goodbyes, just silence. Let them sit in the void they created. Let them wonder. Let them regret. And while they're busy questioning everything, you move the hell on. You level up. You focus on yourself. You channel all that energy you wasted on them into becoming the best version of yourself. Because when they finally come back around, when they finally realize what they lost, when they finally start scrambling to get you back, you'll be long gone. And that's how you win. So say it with me. My silence is my power. Drop it in the comments. Write it down. Say it out loud. Let the world hear you. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure that when people lose you, they feel it. Number 3, level up without announcing it. Disappear, work on yourself, come back unrecognizable. Let me tell you something. People don't regret losing the one who begged. They don't lose sleep over the one who cried, who wrote long messages, who sat around waiting for them to come back. No, they regret losing the one who leveled up without them. The one who walked away and never looked back. The one who became so untouchable, so damn powerful, that by the time they realized what they lost, they couldn't reach it anymore. And that, my friend, is exactly who you are about to become. Now, imagine this. You're watching a movie and the main character gets betrayed, heartbroken, left behind. You expect them to cry, to beg, to fall apart. But instead, they vanish. they disappear into the shadows. And when they return, they're stronger, smarter, more powerful than ever. And the ones who underestimated them, now they're the ones shaking. That's you. That's the energy you need to step into. Because right now, someone thinks they broke you. Someone out there thinks you're still sitting in the same place they left you. They think they still have a hold on you. And why wouldn't they? You made it easy. You gave them everything. You showed up, you fought, you tried. But now, you go silent. You don't announce your comeback. You don't post those "I'm focusing on myself" quotes. You don't throw little hints, hoping they'll notice. You just level up, quietly, ruthlessly. Because here's the truth, real power moves in silence. People don't fear what they see coming. They fear what they can't predict. And when you stop being predictable, when you stop giving them the reaction they expect, when you stop making your next move obvious, that's when they start paying attention. And let me be clear, this isn't about revenge. This isn't about making them jealous. This isn't about hoping they notice. This is about you, about reclaiming your time, your energy, your power, about becoming someone so undeniable that by the time they even think about coming back, they realize they don't even have a chance. So what does leveling up really mean? It means getting your mind right. Stop replaying the past. Stop giving energy to things that drain you. Stop wasting mental space on people who wouldn't cross the street for you. You know what's more attractive than a bitter, heartbroken person? A focused, driven, unstoppable one. It means fixing your body, not for them, not for some petty revenge body nonsense, for you. Train like you are sculpting a new version of yourself. Feel the strength return with every drop of sweat. Look in the mirror and recognize the power staring back at you. It means building your empire. Get your money up. Secure your future. Chase every dream you put on hold for someone who never even deserved your time. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, haunts people more than seeing you succeed without them. And when you post your glow up, do it with quiet confidence, not in a way that says, "Look at me, I'm doing better," but in a way that says, "I wasn't even thinking about you." Because the moment they realize you're not seeking their attention, that's when they start paying attention. They will watch you. They will wonder. They will question everything. And when they finally reach out, when they finally send that weak, "Hey, how have you been?" text, thinking they still have a chance, they'll realize they don't even know the person you've become. Because the old you, the one who settled, the one who overgave, the one who waited, that version of you is dead. So tell me, are you ready to step into your power? Are you ready to stop proving yourself to people who never deserved you in the first place? Are you ready to become so damn untouchable that the past can't even recognize you? Then claim it right now. Drop a comment. I am becoming unstoppable. Say it. Own it. Live it. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure you never, ever let anyone dim your power again. Number 4. Stop responding to weak attempts. Every time you respond to weak efforts, you teach them that bare minimum is enough. Let that sink in, because right now, someone out there thinks they can come and go as they please. They think they can ignore you, disappear for weeks, treat you like an afterthought, and then waltz back into your life with a lazy, "Hey, how have you been?" and still get your attention. And the worst part? You've been letting them. You've been rewarding their inconsistency with your energy. You've been giving them space in your life they didn't earn. You've been allowing weak attempts to take up space in your mind. And today, that stops. Now, imagine this. You own a 5-star restaurant. Your menu is exclusive, your standards are high, and people line up just for a chance to experience what you offer. But suddenly, someone walks in and says, "Hey, I don't feel like paying, but I'll take a plate." What do? Do you hand them a full-course meal, hoping they'll appreciate it and decide to pay next time? Hell no. You show them the door. Because once you start giving things away for free, you set the expectation that your value costs nothing. And that's exactly what you're doing every time you respond to weak efforts. A lazy text, a half-hearted "I miss you," a reaction to your story, hoping you'll bite. These are not grand gestures. These are breadcrumbs, just enough to see if you're still there, just enough to check if they still have access to you. And when you respond, when you engage, when you take the bait, they win. Because now they know. They know they don't have to put in real effort. They know you'll still be available, still waiting, still hoping that maybe, just maybe, this time it's different. It's not different. If they cared, they would have shown you. If they respected you, they would have proved it. If they truly wanted you in their life, they wouldn't be giving you the absolute bare minimum and expecting you to be grateful for it. But right now, they're not afraid to lose you, because they think they still have you. And let me tell you something, people only learn through consequences. They don't learn when you explain. They don't learn when you cry. They don't learn when you send long messages about how hurt you are. They learn when you disappear. When they send that weak text and get nothing but silence. When they drop a little "miss you" and get no response. When they realize they no longer have access to you, your time, your energy, that's when it hits them. Because nothing haunts people more than realizing they lost something valuable because they took it for granted. And here's the part where you usually hesitate. But what if they actually miss me? What if they've changed? What if this time they mean it? No, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And their first impression was weak. It was half-hearted. It was not enough. And if you respond now, you tell them that weakness is enough, that inconsistency is enough, that you're still the same person who will accept whatever scraps they throw your way. Are you? Or are you done playing this game? Because the moment you stop responding, the moment you stop rewarding their half-assed efforts with your attention, the moment you show them that their weak attempts don't even get a reaction, that's when they feel it. That's when they sit there, staring at their phone, wondering why you didn't reply. That's when their ego takes a hit. That's when they start questioning everything. And by the time they realize, it's too late. Because now, you're out of reach. And listen, this isn't about playing games. This isn't about pretending not to care when you do. This is about finally recognizing your worth and refusing to entertain anyone who doesn't meet your standards. So here's your new rule. If it's weak, it gets no response. No more replying just because you feel bad. No more engaging just because you're lonely. No more giving second chances to people who never deserved the first one. From now on, silence is your response. And if they really want you, they'll prove it. So say it with me. I will not respond to weak attempts. Drop it in the comments. Say it. Own it. Live it. Because what's coming next, it's going to make sure you never, ever settle for less again. Number 5. Make them question everything they knew about you. The moment they think they've figured you out, you've already outgrown them. Let that sink in. Because right now, someone out there thinks they know you. They think they know exactly how you'll react, exactly what you'll do, exactly how much they can get away with before you finally walk away. They think you're predictable. And you've been proving them right. Every time they pull away, you chase. Every time they ignore you, you try harder. Every time they come back, you welcome them like nothing happened. And they've gotten comfortable with it. They assume they can treat you however they want and still have access to you. They assume that no matter how much they take you for granted, you'll always be there, waiting, hoping, proving. But that version of you, dead, gone, buried. Because nothing shakes people more than realizing the person they took for granted is no longer the same, that the patterns they relied on, broken, that the reactions they expected, gone, that the comfort of knowing you'll always be there, destroyed. And now they have to question everything. Imagine this. You're watching a TV show and you think you know exactly what's going to happen next. You've seen this storyline before. You've seen the same characters make the same mistakes. You're confident you've got it all figured out. But suddenly, plot twist. The character who used to beg for love, now untouchable. The one who always waited, now unavailable. The one who once over-explained, overgave, overloved, now out of reach. And just like that, everything changes. That's you. You are about to become the plot twist. Because let's be real, right now they assume they know you. They assume they've seen every side of you. They assume you're still the same person they walked away from. But you're not. Because today, you change the script. You stop being the one who reaches out first. You stop being the one who fights to keep them. You stop being the one who explains yourself, who over-explains, who waits around hoping they'll finally see your worth. You let your absence teach them what your presence never could. And let me tell you, nothing haunts people more than uncertainty. The moment they don't know what's going on in your head, the moment they can't predict your next move, the moment they realize they no longer have control over you, that's when they start to panic. Because suddenly, you're a mystery. And people don't forget mysteries. They obsess over them. They replay the last conversation. They check your social media, wondering why you're not posting sad quotes anymore. They start asking mutual friends if you've moved on, if you're seeing someone, if you even think about them anymore. And the scariest part for them? They don't know. They don't know if you still care. They don't know if they still have a chance. They don't know if they ruined things for good. And that uncertainty will eat them alive. Because let's be honest, when they thought they had you, they didn't appreciate you. They didn't respect you. They didn't value you. They got lazy because they thought you'd never leave. Now they don't have that luxury. Now they have to sit with their decisions. Now they have to wonder if they lost something irreplaceable. Now they have to live with the fact that they miscalculated badly. And by the time they realize what they lost, you'll be too far gone. Because this isn't just about making them regret it. This is about you stepping into the version of yourself who never has to prove their worth again. So here's what you do. You disappear. You don't announce it. You don't send a long message explaining why. You just remove yourself. You level up. You shift your energy, your focus, your attention. You become someone so powerful, so confident, so untouchable that even if they do come back, they wouldn't even recognize the person you've become. Because the truth is, you were never meant to be predictable. You were never meant to be someone's backup plan. You were never meant to be taken for granted. And today, you make damn sure no one ever makes that mistake again. So say it with me. I am the plot twist. Drop it in the comments. Say it, own it, live it. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure they never see you the same way again. Number 6. Never let them think you're waiting. The moment they believe you'll wait forever, they stop feeling the urgency to keep you. Let that hit you like a train, because right now, someone out there is walking around completely unbothered, completely confident that no matter what they do, no matter how long they disappear, no matter how little effort they put in, you'll still be there, waiting, hoping, holding space for them like a fool in love. And the worst part? You've been proving them right. You've been rejecting new opportunities, ignoring potential connections, sitting in some twisted emotional waiting room, convinced that if you're just patient enough, they'll eventually wake up and realize what they had. Let me break it to you, they won't. Because people don't feel the urgency to keep what they think they can always come back to. They don't rush to fix things when they believe time is on their side. They don't fear losing you when they think you'll never truly leave. And that is exactly why they haven't changed. Now, imagine this. You're at an airport, waiting for a flight. The airline tells you it's delayed. First 30 minutes, then an hour, then 2. But you stay, you wait. Because deep down, you still believe that flight is coming. But what if the airline never intended to take off? What if they knew you'd sit there waiting, hoping, wasting your time, while they had no plans of ever leaving the ground? That's exactly what they're doing to you. They're keeping you emotionally parked, knowing you won't board another flight, knowing you won't move on, knowing that no matter how many delays, no matter how much uncertainty, no matter how much disrespect they've shown you, you'll still be sitting there, waiting for them to take you somewhere you should have already left on your own. And today, that ends. Because let me tell you something, the people who truly value you, they don't risk losing you. They don't leave you in limbo. They don't disappear to figure things out. They don't keep you hanging just to see if they have better options. They show up. They commit. They make it clear that you are a priority. And if someone is treating you like an option, if someone is comfortable knowing you'll always be there, no matter what they do, you have one job: make them uncomfortable, not by begging, not by arguing, not by making empty threats about leaving, but by actually walking away. Because nothing shakes a person more than realizing the safety net they took for granted is gone. No warnings, no dramatic goodbye speech, no "I just need to know where we stand" conversations. Just disappearance, just absence, just a complete and total shift of energy. Because here's what happens when you stop waiting. They start feeling what they never appreciated before. They start wondering why you're not there. They start questioning what changed, what happened, what caused you to finally realize your worth. And for the first time, they feel something you felt for far too long: uncertainty. They thought you'd always be available. They thought they had all the time in the world. They thought they could put in the bare minimum and still keep you around. And now they don't know. And that unknown, it will wreck them. Because let's be honest, when they were sure of you, when they knew you'd always be waiting, they didn't respect you. They didn't cherish you. They didn't value the gift of your presence. But when you stop waiting, now they have to face the reality that you were never a guarantee. And even if they come back, even if they send that "I miss you" text, even if they suddenly realize they want to talk, even if they try to slip back into your life like nothing happened, you don't let them. Because the minute you allow them back without making them work for it, you prove that your absence was temporary, that you were still waiting, that they still had control. And just like that, they'll relax again. Don't let them. Let them sit with the full weight of their choices. Let them truly feel what it's like to lose someone who once would have done anything for them. Let them wonder if they ever really had you to begin with. Because the second they know they lost you, that's the second they regret taking you for granted. So tell me, are you finally done waiting? Are you finally done putting your life on hold for someone who isn't even checking for you? Are you finally ready to choose yourself? Then claim it right now. Drop a comment. I refuse to wait for anyone who left me behind. Say it, own it, live it. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure you never let anyone think they can put you on hold again. Number 7. Become the standard. They can't meet again. The only real punishment for taking you for granted, realizing they will never find another you. Let that hit you, because right now, someone out there still thinks you were just another option. They think they can replace you. They think they'll find someone else who gives like you did, loves like you did, forgives like you did. And the worst part, they believe it. They actually think they'll be fine without you, that you were just a chapter in their story, that what you gave them, it wasn't that rare. But oh, my friend, they have no idea. Because right now, they're walking around with confidence. Confidence that you'll always be available. Confidence that if they ever decide they want you back, you'll be waiting. Confidence that they'll find someone just like you, or better. But you're about to make sure they never meet another you again. Imagine this. You go to a high-end luxury restaurant, the kind that serves the finest meals, the kind with a waiting list months long, and after one unforgettable experience, you decide, I can find something just as good elsewhere. So you leave. You go searching. You try different places. And one by one, you realize nothing compares. Nothing has that same quality, that same experience, that same feeling. And then, when you finally decide to go back, the door is closed. The waiting list, full. That place you once took for granted, now out of reach. That's you. You were a luxury they didn't recognize. You were a standard they thought they could find anywhere. And now they have to live with the reality that they were wrong. Because they will search. Oh, they will search. They will go from person to person, looking for the same love, the same energy, the same warmth you gave so freely. And for a while, they might think they found it. Until they don't. Until they realize that no one listens like you did. No one supports them like you did. No one understands them like you did. And by the time they truly feel the weight of what they lost, it's too late. Because this time, you're not just moving on, you're elevating. You're stepping into the highest, strongest, most unreachable version of yourself. The version that no longer entertains weak attempts. The version that never ever lowers their standards again. And listen to me. This is not about revenge. This is not about making them suffer. This is not about hoping they regret it. This is about you finally realizing that they were never the prize. You were. Because let's be honest, if they were worthy of you, they would have seen your value while they still had you. But they didn't. And that's the mistake they'll never be able to undo. Because here's the truth. People don't regret losing someone they took for granted right away. At first, they enjoy their freedom. They distract themselves. They tell themselves, it wasn't that special. I'll find something better. Until time passes. Until the silence gets too loud. Until they find themselves lying next to someone who doesn't make them feel like you did. Until they realize that no matter how many replacements they try, you were one of one. And that's when it hits them. That's when they replay every moment, every conversation, every detail about you they never truly appreciated. That's when they start asking, "What was I thinking?" But by then, you don't even care. Because you've leveled up, you've healed, you've built a life so beautiful, so full, that their regret is nothing but background noise. So tell me, are you done being the person they assume they can replace? Are you done settling for people who never even deserved a seat at your table? Then say it with me. I am the standard. Drop it in the comments. Write it. Mean it. Live it. Because what's coming next, it's going to make sure no one ever gets the chance to take you for granted again. Number 8. Never ever go back, even if they beg. If they had to lose you to see your value, they never really valued you to begin with. Read that again. Let it sink in. Because right now, someone is going to come back. They always do. Not because they've changed, not because they suddenly realized your worth, not because they finally see you as the best thing that ever happened to them. No, they're coming back because they lost control, because their ego took a hit, because they thought you'd always be available, and now you're not. And you're about to make the biggest mistake of your life if you let them back in, because the second you do, you prove to them that losing you was never a real consequence. Imagine this. You quit a job where they underpaid you, overworked you, and never appreciated you. You finally move on, find something better, start thriving, and suddenly, the old job calls. We miss you. Things will be different now. We realize what we had. But guess what? They don't miss you. They miss the way you broke yourself for them. They miss the way you put up with things no one else would. They miss the way they could take from you without giving anything in return. And the second you say yes, they relax again. Because now they know. They know they can treat you like an option. They know they can disappear whenever they want. They know they can neglect you, disrespect you, and walk away without losing anything. Because you'll always take them back. And let me tell you something, that is the fastest way to destroy your own worth. Because when you take them back, you're not just letting them back into your life. You're telling yourself that you were never worth more. That all the hurt, all the disrespect, all the bare minimum they gave you before was acceptable. And trust me, they will repeat the cycle. They will do it again. They will leave again. They will take you for granted again. Because why wouldn't they? You just showed them that they can. But you're smarter now. You're no longer the person who settles. You're no longer the person who waits around for someone to finally see your value. You're no longer the person who believes words over actions. Because if they truly saw your worth, they wouldn't have had to lose you to realize it. Because if they truly loved you, they never would have risked losing you in the first place. Because if they truly changed, you wouldn't have to be convinced. They would prove it. And let's be real, if you have to wonder whether or not someone is serious about you, they're not. People don't fumble things they value. People don't risk losing what they know is rare. People don't take chances with the ones they love. So let me ask you, are you still waiting for them to convince you? Are you still hoping that maybe this time will be different? Are you still entertaining the idea that they finally understand what they lost? Or are you finally ready to close the damn door forever? Because here's the truth. If you let them back in, you erase everything you just worked for. You erase the growth. You erase the strength. You erase the lesson. And for what? For someone who only realized they wanted you after you stopped wanting them? Absolutely not. You are done explaining your worth. You are done proving your value. You are done allowing people to think they can come and go as they please. This time, when they come back, they find the door locked. And trust me, nothing will haunt them more than realizing they can never get back what they so carelessly lost. So say it with me. I do not go back. I do not entertain disrespect. I do not repeat lessons. Drop it in the comments. Write it. Mean it. Live it. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure you never let anyone think they can walk away from you without consequences again. And that's it, my friends. This is how you make sure no one ever takes you for granted again. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next video.